Hola amigos. Hi everyone. Are you still worried about your upcoming CELPIP test? Well, I hope what I'm about to share will help you gain some confidence before you take the test. So far, we've covered the strategies to answer questions from task 1 to 3. If you haven't watched them, you can find them along with some samples on our CELPIP playlist. In this video, you will learn some tips to make predictions of what will happen based on the picture that you see. The picture that you see here will always be the same as what you see in task 3. So, what should we do for this task? Well, let's have a look at the picture once again. Before you start, you will have 30 seconds to prepare your response, and you will have to speak for the next 60 seconds. Here's the composition of the response that we will make today. To start, you will give one sentence to recap the scene in the picture. Then, we will actually have our intro. In this case, the intro is actually the second part, which may be a bit counterintuitive. Next, you will go to the main part of the response, giving your predictions accompanied by your supporting ideas. In the end, you will finish your answer with a closing statement. So, we're not starting with the introduction here, but instead we have what I call the overall sentence. You don't have to say much here. We just want to give a quick recap of what the scene is about, to give a context to what we're going to say next. I would say one sentence is enough. And here's an example. At the park shown in the picture, there are a lot of people enjoying their free time. Following your overall sentence, you will tell the listener that you're going to make predictions about the picture. And here are some sample sentences that you can use. And we'd like to say thank you to you guys for your continued support. We'll post more CELPIP materials for you, so if you don't want to miss them, you can subscribe to our channel. Now, this is the part where you answer the question. You will start giving your predictions, and it's best to add your details or reasoning immediately after your prediction. You can talk about immediate events or subsequent events. Immediate events talk about things that are likely to happen right after that scene. Imagine things that can happen 5 to 10 seconds later. On the other hand, the subsequent events will be predictions about what may happen a while later. Think of 5 to 10 minutes later. What's important here is you need to use descriptive words in making predictions. This will set your answer apart from lower scored responses. What do I mean by descriptive words? These are information that will tell the listener a clear idea of what you think will happen. Let's compare these two sentences. The first one, I think the grandma will talk to the granddaughter. And the second, I think the grandma will hold the granddaughter's hand and take her for a walk. While strolling around the park, the grandma will tell her some stories. As you see, the second one gives more detailed description and uses slightly better words. Here's another example. The rabbits will jump around. Compared to, I probably can predict that the rabbits will hop around following the chubby rabbit at the front, which is leading the pack. Make sure that you use a wide variety of expressions to deliver your predictions. Don't be repetitive. To help you, here are some phrases for you to use. You could try saying, I imagine, I suspect, it's likely to, quite possibly, and so on. Sometimes we use the same words again and again out of habit, so you need to spend the time to practice using different expressions. You might wonder, how do I do that? Here are some of the things you can try. 1. write down sentences using those phrases or expressions that you want to practice. You can write a couple of them. And then read them aloud. So don't just read with your inner voice, but read them with your voice loudly. Practice making other sentences in your head, and remember to use them the next time you practice. Kind of make that as a challenge that, for example, when you answer one question, make sure that you use one particular phrase or word that you want to practice. So you can try do some of those things. You will continue giving predictions until you almost run out of time. During the test, you can take a look at the timer and see how much time you've left. And just before the end, you will give your closing statement. It won't be long, but it's a nice way to wrap up the response. And here are some more examples. Those are just my predictions, so they may or may not actually happen. Before I end the video, let me share a sample response based on what we just learned. At the park shown in the picture, there are a lot of people enjoying their free time. Let me try predict what will follow the scene illustrated. First, I think the boy in the orange shirt will hand over the binoculars to the girl because she really wants to give them a try. Behind them, the dogs may start to run wildly since they get scared by the boy who's chasing the basketball right behind them. Not far from that scene, I suspect the boy who's sitting on the bench will scream because it seems that his ice cream cone is about to fall to the ground. The ice cream is melting rather quickly because of the high temperature in the park. Next, I imagine that the girl who's learning to ride a bike is going to fall as the bike has no training wheels, but the father may be able to grab her just in time. Those are just my predictions, so they may or may not actually happen. Alright, that's our sample response, and this is the end of our tips for task 4. If you want to be notified when we upload new content, you can subscribe to our channel, and please hit like if you love what you saw just now. Bye!